Yo, good morning, boys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, we got a little something a little different. First of all, shout out to the squeak sweater. You know, we working. Let me put my hat on real quick. Should I put on the hoodie? I should put on the hoodie. Let me put on my hoodie. Let me put on my hoodie. Let me tighten my hoodie. Let me put on my hoodie real quick. Love my hoodie. Love it. Yeah. It's time to work. Clocking in. Oh, that's perfect. We clocking in. Better get busy. Today we got surviving Afghanistan's extreme street food. Okay. I think it's a little something different to the channel, but I do enjoy watching things of like people that travel the world, people that barter for like items and things like that. Excuse me. Wow, that was rude of me. But yes, people that barter for items and things like that. So, you know, I want to travel the world myself one day, as many of you guys might or may not know. And yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do at the end of it all. Is you know, make it, do our thing here, reacting after we grow enough, start traveling the world and giving you guys vlogs, things like that, and switch up the content like that. Yeah. So that's the goal. All right, I appreciate y'all for clicking once again. And any announcements? Nah, just thank y'all for 500. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna do. It's gonna be kind of like a podcast kind of thing. Sit down and have a conversation with you guys and things like that as to what my plans are moving forward. Past 500, and then maybe some good news for you guys. All right. So yeah. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video, y'all. Let's do this shit.
This is bolani. It costs only 28 cents, and I found it here in Afghanistan's biggest outdoor market.
Today I'm on a mission to hunt down the street foods most of the world will never taste.
This isn't typical Western rotisserie chicken. All the grilling is going to be done vertically.
In a country wrapped in mystery and headlines.
Cheers.
No, this is around.
Armed with only a permission slip,
Pleasure meeting you.
I aim to navigate some of the most challenging corners of this city.
There was just a giant fort with a giant turret.
He reminds me of the guy from Dirty Jobs. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Dirty Jobs, but that's who he reminds me of.
On the back, parked across the street.
And by the end of it all, I'll come face to face with a heaping portion of Afghanistan's national dish, with an unexpected side of Taliban oversight.
I don't.
Well, he was looking at him like
Mandawi Market, Kabul. A place where a wrong turn down maze-like back alleys could lead you to an unwanted checkpoint with you-know-who.
I have tested a ton.
My homie have an AK? My man was walking around with an AK? Nah, hold up. We gotta go back. I could have sworn I just seen an AK.
With you-know-who.
Bro. Homie bumped into him. He's like, fuck.
Back alleys could lead you to an
Look, he bumps into him because he's looking at the camera. And then he looks back at homie. Like, what did I do wrong?
unwanted checkpoint
Look, he's walking into homie.
with you-know-who.
Oh, and then old man like kind of slapped him.
Could lead you to an unwanted checkpoint with you-know-who.
Old man did that on purpose.
Here among the chaotic streets, one smell cuts through the diesel and dust. Bolani is Afghanistan's most wanted street bite. To make it, first a vendor plunges bare hands into a metal basin, water, wheat flour, and salt.
How y'all feel about that? Like, the bare hand things. Does it matter to you guys? Do you guys feel like bacteria kind of kills it all out?
Next comes the covert cargo, mashed potato, blitzed with cumin, turmeric, masala, and a shake of red chili flakes.
Okay, turmeric and potatoes? That sounds good.
He slides each parcel into a cauldron of screaming oil. No thermometers, no alarms or timers, but 30 seconds too long and the whole batch burns.
And just like that, our $100 challenge has begun here in Afghanistan.
Not lie, that's actually banging. That's fire. I would love that. And I would really love that. A little flour with some potatoes inside. That's in Spanish we call that relleno de papa. That looks good.
Guys, hold on. There's a whole small village of Afghan men who have just arrived to my set. The extras are late. They're supposed to be in the background pretending to work. Now, if I'm honest, the chance of me hitting $100, it's 50-50. The food here, kind of on the cheap side. This is the more expensive version of this dish, and it's still really cheap. For all you see, this big, doughy masterpiece, 30 Afghanis. But other
30 cents? Oh, $40. I mean, 40 cents in US. That's crazy.
vendors on the street, they're selling it for 10, so that's almost 10 cents. Ridiculous. Let's get into this. If you flip it on this side, you can actually see the seam, like looking at the center of your jeans. I'm just gonna eat it straight up. My first bite. Cheers.
I mean, it looks good, honestly. It looks really good.
At first he fries it gets a little crispy, and he stacks them on top of each other that they start to kind of steam each other, so it gets soft in the end. Aside from the fried bread, you taste the potato inside. I think the potato is meant to give it some body, but if you really want some more flavor, you have to use this chutney over here. Ooh, that's explosive. I'm told
Oh, it's spicy, huh?
it has coriander, garlic, green chilies, and tomato. It is really brutally spicy. I kind of like it though. So I'm gonna give my bread a little bit of a dip. Dipping it in the chutney is a completely different experience. It really scorches your throat. Meanwhile, it gets the bread soggy, which I don't hate. If this is too spicy,
Yeah, I don't like the soggy bread.
you need some sweet relief. They've got this right here. This is like the bomb right here, and this is the bomb squad. Too many bomb references, I think, for where I am right now.
Meet Dukh-e-Khair, Afghanistan's unofficial air conditioner in a cup. First, the sting of diced cucumber hits the bottom of a tall glass. Next comes a scoop of thick, creamy yogurt, followed by liquid yogurt mixed with dried minced mint.
If you've ever had tzatziki sauce from Turkey, like
It looks like water mixed with some powder, some mint, and cucumber.
yogurt sauce that has cucumber and garlic inside, it's kind of like that. Cold, cool, refreshing. That is the perfect pair to go with this super fiery chutney soup over.
Okay, so that's to cool you down.
This isn't the only improvised edible device we'll be dealing with today. Ahead of us, 7 more street-side dishes, including Afghanistan's national dish.
Alright, so I'll be honest, I'll try anything except for shit like that. Like if it's fried outside real quick, you know, I'm seeing you cook it, chicken kind of thing, I'll do it. But this, I don't even know what that is, bro.
Truly gigantic, ticking protein bomb waiting for us at the end of this video.
Before I finish my first breakfast of the day, I want to give you a little bit of an update of how things are going here in Afghanistan. Now, yesterday was our first day out in the city. I didn't know what to expect, but actually in the end, everything went better than I thought it would have. People were very curious. The general population seemed pretty okay with us filming them. Nobody really were trying to shut what we're doing down. There's a lot of people here for me to talk about the Taliban, but what I'm told is a big difference from before and after the Taliban took over here is that now there's a lot more regulation and there is more checkpoints. Can I talk about this? It's like
Sounds good and safe. It's safer than it used to be.
it's much safer now.
Yeah.
A gentleman in the crowd, you're from Kabul?
From Kabul.
Since arriving, I've heard from several locals that the country has become much safer since the Taliban took over.
Wix.
Okay, well, I guess that's good. I didn't know that the Taliban's had actually taken over. To be honest with you guys, I have no
Limited creep.
about, you know, what's going on over there at the moment. I just hope everybody's being safe.
That's because the group that was once terrorizing the state is now the state. Though it makes me wonder, what's the safety being traded for?
We have worked our way deeper into Mandawi Market, and this place is wild. Here there are a bunch of gentlemen who have pre-made a soup. They brought it, and then they scoop it up for patrons who sit down around them like we are right now.
While we're tasting what this city has to offer,
Oh, that boy transporting the cargo. He got the goods in there, y'all.
I want to show you an offer that's less spicy, but more soothing.
Growing up, I thought being strong meant keeping it all.
Alright, hold on. We skipping over ads and shit, bro. We ain't here for that.
We have some dry mint as well. The price is about 27 cents. Very affordable.
And sorry, y'all. I just don't watch them just cause I don't have ads on the channel, you know, at the moment. So it's like, why give you guys ads, you know?
The broth is very thick, white, and creamy. And that is a special broth made from something called kashk. It's like condensed dairy that becomes hard like chalk. And then they rehydrate it with water, and it becomes a creamy sauce like this. Beyond that, he's got giant spoons that he serves you. I think so you eat faster and leave faster. Oh yeah, some good competition for Kraft macaroni and cheese. Wow, that bite was mixing with some of that spicy, sour red sauce. It's got some kick. The mint.
I will say, I'm not this brave just yet. I'm not this brave just yet to like try anything, and I think it's the trust thing. I don't trust things like this, and I don't know why. I just don't. And yeah, I just don't.
Gives it a little bit of an earthy flavor. I can't believe how good it is. In a way, it's kind of like baby food. I mean, the noodles are super soft. You could just press your tongue against the roof of your mouth rather than chewing them. They're that soft. Good? Good. Should we do a little? Nice. People in this country, solid hats, all kinds of hats. And the hats kind of denote what region the people are from. As far as I understand, if you see a man and you see his hat, you go, oh, that guy's from that area. What do you think?
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know.
Think of my bandana. Very cool, or? Yeah, all right. Really? Thank you.
Next stop, a street side stall where you can trade a fistful of coins for a feast. This is manto, a food that's usually paired with celebration.
This is a fascinating food because you can find it in so many places. In Korea, they call it mandu. In Kazakhstan, they call it manti. Here, they call it manto. All of them are different forms of dumplings.
In Seoul, they pack it with pork.
Dumplings? Okay. Dumplings don't look bad, but I actually don't eat dumplings either.
In Kazakhstan,
I'm realizing I'm pretty picky.
lamb or even horse.
But I eat a lot of things. It's just the rest of the world I haven't traveled yet. So.
But here, our street side chef rewrites the script, loading each wrapper with sautéed sweet onions. But what these dumplings lack in protein, they make up for with a twisted, chaotic storm of toppings. A heaping spoon of stewed red kidney beans, a glossy drizzle of tangy kashk yogurt sauce, a fiery splash
What is that sauce? Like, why?
of red pepper chutney, a few shakes of dried masala, and one final pinch of salt to fuse the chaos into harmony.
Usually he would serve about 6 dumplings. This is a double portion, about 50 cents. Not bad. I'm gonna give it a try now.
50 cents, dude? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's affordable as shit.
Now, I feel a little shy. Saeed's right next to me. He's gonna be watching me. He keeps making me shake his wrist. I want to shake his hand. The fillings are almost imperceptible.
Germs and things he cooks probably.
It is very salty. The wheat wrapper is nice. It's got a little bit of bite to it. Everything else, it's very sour. That spicy sour sauce that we had previously on the soup, they're putting the same thing on top of here, and it really dominates all the flavor. I want to try to crack one of these open and see the interior. There's potentially some onion in there. There are some tricks of the trade when you're trying to make a food very affordable like this, but very flavorful. What he's lacking in flavor that you might be getting from meat or dumba, he's trying to make up for it with all the masalas and chutneys. Dashakor. Thank you. How about the hand? Yes. No. Oh, like this? I was doing it wrong the whole time. All right, folks, it is 12.
Doing it wrong the whole time, my boy. That's what it was. You was putting it out wrong.
12:44. It is lunchtime, and this is a substantial
That last one, I would have tried it. Probably wouldn't have liked it.
feast.
This looks good, though.
It's a liver. First of all, my guy right here.
Liver? I've never had liver, but liver looks good.
Here it has the big tawa. I guess that's what you would call it in India. On the side, French fries. Potentially I'm in the way. No? When he prepares this for each person, he puts the liver in the center and he combines it with a couple of special ingredients. Let's see if he'll do it now for us. So now he brings the liver to the center. He takes some of the grease that the fries are frying in. Boom! Minced garlic, just like that. He minces the chili into tiny little pieces. That is pure flavor. The tomatoes and the liver.
Wow, way to do that.
Those are the main ingredients for everything you see here. It goes on the plate. He hits it with a little bit of cabbage. He hits it with a little bit of dry masala, and then he hands it to his customer, which is me. Sir? Where do you... Sir? Tashakur. Thank you. Right here we have our most...
That looks amazing. That bread looks so good right now. Yeah, that's great. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm taking that.
Substantial food of the day, that is jigar. Also, a new bread just dropped. This looks very similar to the bread we saw baked in the bakery in the last video. It even has the perforated stripes here for easy tearing, and it has the same texture. It just has a different kind of oblong shape to it. Let's talk about the price. This should be our most expensive dish of the day because it's full of meat. This right here is coming in at a wild 98 cents. That's it. It's pretty
$1 for all of that? Yo, we are paying way too much over here. What the heck?
remarkable. We've got bread, we've got a micro salad, and we've got a lot of animal liver, all for under $1. Not a bad deal. My first move right here, tear the bread. Oh, it's so satisfying. This is our utensil right here. There we go. Look,
that looks good.
nice and greasy. Cheers. Not bad. You know, liver can be dry. It can be even chalky sometimes. That's pretty good. Pretty moist, very seasoned, super heavy and greasy. Liver, especially mutton liver, not my absolute favorite food, but what he's done here, it's nice. Aside from the liver, they just give you a little side of cabbage here. No. I tried to do a cheers with this guy I got tonight. Cheers?
No, this is haram.
I didn't know that's haram, just a cheers. I mean, there's no booze in here. Is there? That would be nice.
Oh, cheering is haram?
No, just yogurt drink. So far we've had 4 foods, and honestly, I don't think
I had no idea cheering is haram.
we've even cracked $2, but I am not stopping now. We must keep moving food by food until we hit $100 in Afghanistan. Boom, we're on to our next street food right here. A curious combination of 3 ingredients: green onion, boiled potato, and right here some boiling chickpeas. That is gonna be the main body for this dish. Let's get into it. It all starts with a bowl. He puts in some boiled shredded potato. He moves over to here. He grabs some chickpeas. Next, green onions going on
I actually don't like chickpeas either.
top. Now it's time for the flavor. Let's put it up here. I'll hold it for you. He puts on a little bit of red chutney, dry masala, and finally some salt. Wait, there's more? The final step, something I've not seen used yet today, white vinegar. All of that combined makes one of the most unique salads you'll find, at least here on this street. There's so many people here now. What's happening? Thank you, sir. Boom! Food number 1000. I'm not sure where we are. I lost track. Luckily, I have these people helping me. Hi, how you doing? This right here is a curious combination of ingredients.
That's too expensive. 42 cents, that's incredible.
I mean, the main body of the food would definitely be the chickpeas, but then
Affordable, like, I'm not gonna lie, that's super affordable. Super affordable. Like, I mean, in general, just like the food out there, compared to the food out here, what?
there's that potato underneath, soaking up all that flavor. Now, here's what I've noticed here. As far as seasonings go, anything wet, they call it a chutney. Anything dry, they call it masala. From there, they don't really sweat the details. I'm gonna get this combination, a little bit of potato, a little bit of chickpea. I think it's gonna be super sour from that apple cider vinegar. Let's give it a shot. Oh, not what I expected at all. That's pretty good. It's simple, but it's like comfort food. Considering he put in chutney and vinegar, I thought it was gonna be really sour, like some of the dishes I've had here. But it's not sour at all. This liquid here, it's become like a broth. That's, I think, from those boiling chickpeas. Super satisfying. The food we had yesterday, the kale poche, like pure fat, that's energy packed in a different way. This is energy packed with beans, carbs, but it's not doused in animal fat. Overall, a big surprise. You gotta give it up for Afghanistan.
Give it up, give it up. That's impressive. I would try that though. I've never had chickpeas, but I definitely would try it. It's bright outside.
Walking among Afghans in Mandawi Market, I really don't blend in. A lot of folks here speak English, and when they ask me where I'm from, their reactions range from enthusiastic to shocked. But Afghans are well aware of how their country is perceived by the rest of the world, and many are hungry to share a different, more hopeful story.
You're from Afghanistan?
Absolutely.
Are there many Americans that come here as tourists?
Few, but most of British people come here.
If somebody comes here, they're a tourist, and they say, oh, I'm American, that's okay?
It's okay. We feel proud to have tourism around us, so they could explore our country or get our message to their country or to their relative countries. So it's great.
And what is your message?
Our message is to come here and explore our country. It's a very good country, and the people are good. They are kind, and they are very generous people.
I love that, and I would love to visit Afghanistan and try that food. Some of that food there kind of called my name. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Same here, same.
I'm a sucker when it comes to the food. I would definitely travel for food. Like I would. I really would.
Take care. We have our next street food right here, and this is a wild one. This time instead of liver, we have cow stomach. That's right. The minced stomach is already coated with a dry seasoning blend with over 10 spices. And then he adds in a little tomato, and that's it. I'm gonna order right now and see what happens. First, he brings out...
So it sounds nasty, but I mean, we kind of eat pork chops, right? We wait, is that cow or is that beef? I'm not sure, honestly, but you know, we eat pretty much every part of every animal, you know, anyway. So when you hear cow stomach, I know it sounds nasty, but you know, we do eat it.
Some of the stomach, he heats it up, he puts it on. On the plate, he gives it a bit of a smash, boom, and there it is. If I'm honest, I thought there was gonna be more steps. All right, folks, let's get into it. Cow stomach, it's
I like the bread. I don't know why, bro. That bread looks so good. I want to know how to make it.
not pretty, but it's not meant to be. Come take a look. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the cow stomach is a very fatty organ, so if you hit it against some hot steel, it could get kind of crunchy. It could create a nice Maillard reaction. So I'm gonna break some bread and we scoop up some of that meat. That is some intense looking meat. Let's give it a shot. It's like Afghan chitlins. I don't hate it. This is not a food for the uninitiated. If your favorite food is Chipotle, this is not gonna be for you. It's got some game to it. It would knock most Americans on their feet. There's some smoky flavors in there. There's some fattiness. It's very rich. They got these little masala ashtrays on all the tables. It looks like craters inside because every guy who's been in here before you has been putting their fingers directly into the masala and putting it onto their food. But all right, this is the Afghan way. I wanna hit it with some of this. I believe this is cumin.
I respect it, you know. If everybody's being respectful, I guess, you know.
And a little bit of salt too. Jump on board the masala train, my friends. A little bit more punch. I like it. This would pair perfectly with beer. And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna find one nearby.
He said with a beer.
Can I? That should be the ultimate conquest of this series.
These little meat morsels didn't make a dent in my wallet, so I need to search out something bigger, what some might call the culinary pride of Afghanistan.
You see, other restaurants, you might go and just get some rice, but here, on top of that rice, they're gonna give you a big chunk of meat like what you see here.
But before that, I'm headed to a place where chicken is roasted upright, like soldiers in formation.
So that's probably gonna come out really good. You have when I do go to like the Kentucky Fried Chicken ones, I go and I always get, not always, but I like to get chicken and lamb over rice. Chicken over rice. I don't like the lamb, but I like the chicken over rice. I used to eat chicken and lamb over rice, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna just stick to the chicken. So just the chicken.
Hey, if you conceal carry and you want to do so comfortably, you're probably going to be interested in this, the brand new Nimbus Gray Vanish holster.
Here, men tend the grill, and men line up to eat. So where are the women?
Here's the situation. You know, you read a lot of stuff about the gender situation in Afghanistan before you come here, and then it's a little bit different once you get here.
So if I'm not mistaken, I think... Actually, I'm not going to put my opinion on this.
When the US withdrew and the Taliban took over in 2021, they implemented something called Sharia law, a strict Islamic legal system that even outlaws music. I heard women can only travel with a male relative, but at least in Kabul, I've seen women moving alone and with other women.
On the streets so far, I've noticed maybe 20% of the people are women. Not all of them have to be covered up. I mean, there's women walking around just with the hijab on, and there's plenty walking around with what they call the Afghan burqa. I'm not sure what the rules are. I think they have to wear some kind of covering, but it doesn't have to be a burqa.
I heard girls don't receive secondary education, and that's true. Some say the Taliban is just waiting to create the appropriate curriculum, while others admit it'll likely never happen. What's clear is that any topics around women are extremely sensitive.
I met a family today who was Afghan British. They're from the UK, but they came back to visit Afghanistan. They knew my channel, they said hello, and I said, hey, could I take some video of you? And the mother, an Afghan woman wearing a hijab, said, no, it's against the rules. So, evidently, there are some rules.
So women cannot be on camera, I guess, intentional, purposely. They can't be on the street. They say that they gotta be with a relative, from what I understand. And you don't have to have the full covering, from what I understood.
Ourselves have been told and warned many times not to even film women. By the rules of those who have permitted us to film here, it's like they'd prefer you to not even know Afghan women exist.
So the issue, I would say, is very complicated. From here, I intend to take on Afghanistan's national dish, a dish known as palau. We're headed there, not next, but after that. I thought I'd seen chicken grilled every way possible around the world, but that was until I came here to Afghanistan.
The Afghan way of grilling chicken starts with a pool of marinade made of yogurt, MSG, salt, dried ginger, red chilies, wine vinegar.
So I respect that, except that that tub thing looks a little moldy, but it could just be the sauce.
Vinegar and water. The chickens are soaked in that flavorful bathtub for a couple of hours.
The chicken, already marinated, goes onto this giant steak. One by one, he then ties the string around its ankles, and he tying the string around the chicken's ass. Ugh. This is gonna anchor the chicken to the pole. Now, when
Around the chicken's ass. Ugh.
preparing this food in Afghanistan, it's important that all the chickens are beheaded. I don't make the rules. All right, folks, it is time for the chicken grilling to begin. From here, he pushes each steak down into this dirt and ash. And now that he has finished building his wall of chicken, it's time to start the fire and get these babies roasted.
That's cool. A nice little fire around it. But I will say, what is that? Is that the neck? Do they keep the neck?
When the chicken blazes a molten orange, it's pulled from its vertical spit. Split the chicken open, flatten it onto a rack, then give it a quick grill over charcoal for that extra hit of smoky flavor. Once hot, it's tossed onto a plate where it receives a sprinkle of chicken masala, a bowl of yogurt, and a handful of shredded cabbage.
Wow, you would never believe it, but there was just a giant Ford F-150, the giant turret on the back parked across the street. Whew. All right, welcome to Kabul, baby. What? Chicken. An entire freaking chicken that costs only $4.90. That is how much chickens used to cost in the USA. Now to get that same deal, I have to fly all the way to Kabul.
Well, that's a more normal price, $4.50. That's a more, Nowadays, to get a full chicken like that here, I gotta pay $10.
I'm gonna start right here. The breast has no fat. If the breast is juicy, then you know that dark meat's gonna be real nice. Let's give it a shot. That is one of the driest chicken breasts I've ever had in my life. And the way he's cooked it, he's stuck his tongs in there, he's really flattened it out. And I get it, the goal is to cook it all the way through, but he's really tried it out at the same time. Luckily, I have this yogurt with some herbs and other stuff inside. That is spicy, oh my God. So that was
Why do you always drink the sauce? Put that on the chicken.
a bit of a brutal start. Right here we have the chicken thigh. It is much more difficult to mess up a thigh. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in the sauce. That's actually very nice. I would say the two most remarkable things about this are, first of all, the price, but also the way they make it. It's so cool. At this point, I've seen chicken made at least 100 different ways. Even when I was in Thailand with Mark Wiens, they used an oil can to cover chickens on steaks, and they used grass to burn around those oil cans until the chicken inside cooked all the way through. There is no end to what you can do with a chicken, and this is just more proof of that here in Afghanistan.
For our Afghan street food finale, I'm visiting a family-run restaurant that's been serving Afghanistan's national dish for 24 years.
We have arrived at our final location where they're serving up a dish known here as palau. But let me back up a second. Central Asia is really known for this food. I've had it in Uzbekistan where they call it plov, and I've also had it in Kazakhstan. But here in Afghanistan, they make it a little bit differently. We're gonna head into the kitchen to see how it's done. Under here is a deep pan, and inside of it, there is over 125 pounds of beef. From here, he's gonna pop off the lid, and we're gonna see the beef inside. Oh. Not at all what I expected. It's so watery. Every time I've seen plov or palau, the meat is seared and then kind of steamed. But here, it's been boiled for a few hours. The first and most crucial step. He's removing all the big meat chunks from this pan. Right now, he's separating it according to the body part. So he's putting some on this plate, he's putting some in this pot right here. Once all of it is organized and removed, he's gonna be able to remove the small bones that have fallen off the meat during this braising process. Now that our deg is clean, it is time to build up the palau, starting with a thin layer of carrots to insulate the pan from the meat. The next step is dumping all that clean meat back into the deg. He has to place each piece perfectly so it can balance well with the heat and with the rice. It's a puzzle of protein. Time for the broth. Oh, it smells like a nice beef crock pot. Now it's time to introduce some new ingredients. Up first, the carrot. Next up, he's putting in raisins.
I like raisins. The thing is that I eat a lot of trail mixes, and I am tired of raisins. I don't know if you guys are on the same page, but man, trail mixes suck with raisins on them, man. You got the whole bag full of raisins nowadays. So you get tired of them, But they are good, though. They're just dried grapes.
for a cigarette. So I thought he was coming out here for a smoke, but no, he came out here to light up the gas stove.
The stove slowly heats up. Finally, the rice, the true hero of this operation, marches to the front lines. Salt and cumin follow as reinforcements. Now, the fire does its work. Afghanistan's palau comes in many forms, each with its own meaty twist. But this one is the crown jewel, rich, meaty rice cooked to perfection.
2 hours has passed, and at last it is time to reveal the final palau product.
This is Kabuli palau.
The rice has steamed up beautifully. Look at these long grains, raisins, the carrots. Now he is making my portion of palau, the biggest portion possible on this platter right here.
See, that's incredible. Like, that's just art, because making rice in a little pot with one is hard. So this thing, knowing exactly how much water you put, how much meat, like, it's crazy. But that looks really good, actually.
Starts with steamed rice. He hits it with that giant piece of beef, and then he puts some smaller pieces of beef on the outside. Slowly, he starts to reveal the carrots and raisins. And that, my friends, is the final product. It looks amazing. Let's go try it out. All right, folks, our final meal of the day, here it is, Afghan palau. The way they prepared it here, it's pretty different than what I've seen in other locations. It's more simple, but I love what they're doing with these big chunks of beef, and that is what we're gonna be building up to for this meal. We have the palau, but we have a couple other things here too. First of all, a pickled vegetable. We'll try that later. Right here, Uzbek bread. So I've actually seen this type of bread being made before in Uzbekistan. It's gorgeous. Then there's a plate of beans. Probably they mix this with the rice, but I'm just gonna go beans. British people will go crazy for this. It's just beans from a can. Let's get into our palau, our most expensive meal of the day. This is a double portion, and it costs only $10. That's remarkable. Ideally, you want that rice to be absolutely...
So that's fair. The pricing on that is fair as well. That would be over here probably like 15 with the amount that you gave, probably like $15. Maybe more, maybe like 20.
Saturated in the fat from the beef and the oil. This place, they are so proud of their oil. The oil they're using, sesame oil. That is what makes this place stand out from the others. The raisins just offer this hit of sweetness. It pairs perfectly with that really heavy rice. The carrot looks beautiful. I'm a big fan. Next, I want to get into smaller pieces of beef. It's so tender, and the fat and the tissues have really broken down, but I gotta say, it's not much flavor. Let's hit it with a little bit of salt. Pablo Escobar over here. Some red chili powder, and a mystery powder. Now we're gonna take another piece. The salt and the seasonings just bring out even more flavor. That's exactly what it was missing. Before we get to this giant piece of meat, I do want to try this. A pumpkin pickle. I've never heard of anything like it. I didn't know a pumpkin could be a pickle. It tastes like a Korean radish that's been boiled. Very sour, one note. It's a nice contrast to everything here. To wash it down, we've got this. Wow. Let's see what wow tastes like. Oh, okay. This is Afghan Mountain Dew. Very sugary. Kind of goes nice with something like this. Next, the meat. The meat is just literally fall off the bone soft. So I'm gonna take a little bed of rice in my hand, some raisins, put the meat on top of it. This is a very good day. Amazing. And that meat is just so beefy, so fatty.
That looks really good. That bread though, I'm excited for that bread.
Hi.
Unknown to me at the time, my new neighbor to the right is a member of the Taliban,
How you doing?
with his rifle resting just out of frame.
Salam.
Salam to you.
Thank you.
Perhaps that explains why he keeps stealing glances at my crew and me.
How you doing? Are we interrupting you? Okay. This is obviously meant for a group, but I feel like an Afghan king right now. And the bread, I bet it's delicious. So that is Afghan palau, and that is our 8th and final street food of the day. But we still have one thing left to do, and that is adding up all the food throughout the day to see if we spent over $100. All right, folks, so we have just
Dude, you spent like 25 bucks.
left the final restaurant, and fun story, moments after we stopped shooting, the man who sat next to me was holding a rifle. He was pretty fast and loose with it. I wasn't a big fan. These guys at the last second said, hey, you didn't film us, right? And I said, absolutely not. Gotta go. Take care. I tell you that story in order to tell you this. This is not a normal place. There's no country on earth, I think, that has the dichotomy you will find here in Afghanistan. On one side, you have jovial, outgoing people. On the other side, you have beheadings. So I'm still not sure what to make of this place, and I'm learning more day by day. Luckily, we got out of there. There was no issue, but it just was a reminder.
See, I love that. My man is working with no shoes on next to his food. Look at this. Look how close those feet are next to the bread. here in the U.S., you'd probably get the cops called on you. Over there, it's just normal, you know, and that's what's incredible, man. That's what's incredible.
Learning more day by day. Luckily, we got out of there. There was no issue, but it just was a reminder, and I see these reminders constantly where I interact with people. Things are normal until they're not. So if you're seeing me having a fun little romp in Afghanistan and you think you should come here too, the reality is different. I can just tell you this. We're not able to show you the full reality of what it's like to be here on camera, because those moments we can't film. And if we did, we would have much bigger problems. Oh wait, but Sonny, did you spend $100 on street food today? Doing math? Boom, this much. It really did.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, I think he says that to say don't come.
Didn't think we would get there, and then guess what? We didn't. Today was an absolute culinary adventure getting to explore the unique street food of Afghanistan. Some of it, it was on the cheaper side, and so I could see why it might not be as delicious, but some of it was outstanding. I would say my favorite dish from the day, the palau. Big, giant chunks of beef that have been braised and made tender and soft over hours of cooking. Very nice.
That kid looked super passionate about making that food. That was a nice video. Let me know if y'all interested in this type of stuff. You know, we could do tacos and things like that. And, you know, we'll bring some food stuff to the channel ourselves if you guys are interested in it. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for the love as always. And yeah, let's get into the next one. Come on. This is the beginning of the videos, right? We got a couple more to go for today. So I appreciate you. I'm going to see you on the next one. Let's get it.